You mentioned that you're 39 weeks along, and last time you had a C-section, and that was 7 years ago. This time you've been having a lot of pain, a lot of contractions. It sounds like they've been irregular, nothing too exciting, but nonetheless enough to bother you. And you're wondering if maybe this is a good sign that you'll be able to deliver vaginally this time. It's a possibility, but it's hard to say for sure, and there's many different things to consider. First of all, a vaginal birth after a C-section has inherent risks, and there are many women who are good candidates, and it largely depends on the reason for your first C-section. So most women have C-sections because either the baby was too big and didn't fit, or it was in a breech position, or maybe the baby wasn't tolerating labor. If your baby didn't tolerate labor, or you had a breech baby last time and that's why you had a C-section, then you would be a good candidate this time. But let's say you had a 7-pounder last time, which isn't a very big baby, and that baby didn't fit, then chances are great that you just have a small pelvis and this baby also won't fit, and it would probably be best to just have a repeat C-section. I'm sure you've had a conversation with your doctor about the plan for delivery, and if they feel like you're a good candidate and they said that a VBAC is an option for you, then go for it. But also understand that, again, like I said earlier, there are inherent risks. 1% of the time the uterus can rupture. Last time they did a C-section, they had to make an incision on the uterus to get the baby out, and that they stitched that up, and it heals nicely, but it is a weak point forevermore. It's similar to if I made a big incision down my bicep and then I started lifting heavy weight. It could potentially pop open. But because that risk is so small, 1%, then doctors offer it as an option to women who are good candidates as long as it's going to be done in a hospital that's capable of handling an obstetric emergency if something did happen. As for the pains you've been having, it's probably your body gearing up for labor. It could very well be the case. In the days to weeks leading up to delivery, your body might start to have regular contractions. And what I mean by that is that maybe for 45 minutes you have contractions that are 6 to 7 minutes apart, and then they just kind of fizzle out again. Maybe at one point they're 4 to 5 minutes apart, which is actually time to start getting excited. But then by the time you call your partner and pack your bags, they've fizzled out again. And this can happen. And these regular contractions are getting your body ready for labor. Your body starts to release hormones called prostaglandins, and they act on the cervix and soften it, move it forward in your pelvis, and begin to thin it out. And then once your cervix is ripe, that's the actual medical term we use, just like you can have a ripe peach or a peach that's not ripe. If your cervix is ripe and ready for labor, then once you begin to have regular and intense contractions, then your body should respond by dilating. And the true definition of labor is cervical change or dilation over a short period of time from hour to hour. So some women say, I was in labor for 5 days, but really they were just in labor for the hours leading up to the delivery of their baby, although they may have been contracting for days leading up to the delivery of their baby. Really, it's all about intensity and frequency. So if you start to have contractions, pay attention to how frequent they're happening. And if they are 4 to 5 minutes apart, and that's been going on for at least an hour or two, and they're increasing in intensity to the point where you have to kind of breathe through them and focus, then it's time to go to the hospital and get checked out. And again, this is all if your doctor said you can attempt a VBAC. If you're not planning on a VBAC, then you should probably go in sooner, because if you're having regular contractions and your cervix is dilating at all, then they'll just do the repeat C-section at that time. Other things to look out for are vaginal bleeding, feeling like your water broke, and also pay close attention to your baby's movement. You should be feeling at least 6 movements an hour, and this is even when you're contracting. You should be feeling movements in between contractions, and if it's ever less than the norm, less than what you're used to, or feels like it's less than 6 in an hour, get rid of all distractions, lay down on your side, and count every movement. And if 2 hours go by and you've only gotten 10 or less movements, then that too is a reason in and of itself to go to the hospital to get checked out. Basically, the only way you can know if what you're feeling is exciting or not is by going to the hospital to get checked out. Congratulations ahead of time on the birth of your baby, and if you have any other questions for me in the future, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/InterMountainMoms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.